Welcome everyone to Needed Conversations Season 2. I'm very excited for what this new year is gonna bring. I think we're gonna have really nice talks, and first season was a good startup. I learned a lot. I don't know about you, but it was a blessing to my life, and it gave me some experience. Maybe not a lot, maybe not enough to make this the best podcast or YouTube channel ever, but I think I've grown a lot, so I'm glad for that. And as you can tell, I got a mic, and this helps a lot. It sounds beautiful, but sadly this episode was recorded right before I got my mic, so it's not gonna have this beautiful sound, but it's gonna be good enough for you to hear clearly and listen what Tamlin and Bailey have to say. In this episode, we're gonna be talking about what girls look for in guys, or what women look for in men. And I know we had a conversation with my friend Adrian Escamilla where we talk about the other side of the coin, and we spoke about what men look for in girls. And if you haven't seen that, I'm gonna leave the link right here so you can go ahead and watch it before or after this episode. But I really hope you enjoy it. It was a pretty cool conversation. We had a lot of fun, and Tamlin and Bailey did a great job just speaking their hearts out. So let's go ahead and watch it or listen, and we'll see you after this conversation. Welcome everyone to Needed Conversations. For this episode, I have Tamlin and Bailey with me. They're really good friends, they're roommates, and I just want you guys to introduce yourselves first. Bailey, you can go first. Something people need to know about you, or you want them to know about you.
Okay. My name is Bailey. I am currently working full-time job and in grad school for my master's in intercultural studies, and I am 20 years old, and that's all I got for you.
Hi guys, I'm Tamlin. I am studying communications and digital media. Pretty fun. There's really not much to know about me.
We live here.
This is our home. Welcome.
It's pretty cozy.
I'm 21. Thank you.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
Lots of their stories.
And well, I don't know if you saw the video. You probably did. You probably not. Or maybe yes. You
I
did?
watch your videos.
Oh, nice.
With Adrian, right?
Yeah, the one with Adrian? Yeah, okay. So we did a video on what the men look for in a girl. And, I mean, we talk from our perspective. But then I received a DM of people saying, like, you know, you should do the other side. And so I decided to talk with you guys. And I'm trying to, like, hear what you think and understand the way, you know, girls think. And in general, like, what the girls look for. And then from y'all's perspective, you know. Because I know, like, you girls talk to each other.
What? No. I don't know.
We never talk to each other.
It's our first time encountering each other, actually.
Oh, really? Well, that's gonna be fun.
It's kind of awkward.
And so that's what I want to do tonight, and I mean for this episode.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start first with physical first.
Ooh.
I think what I look for, I definitely like tall guys, but I'm short, so really that's like anyone taller
Anything
than me.
above 5'4" is tall to me, so.
Same. Like, you could be like 5'6" and be like, "Well, you're so tall," because I'm short. But I don't really have like preference on like skin color or like hair color. I think really like if I look at you and I think you're attractive, I'm like, oh yes,
I can work with that.
I like that. I also I like a guy that takes care of himself. He doesn't have to be like super skinny or super fit, but just like a guy that's like doesn't just lay around all day and do nothing. Like he like at least tries to like be healthy and stuff. And yeah, I think that's style is a big thing for me. Like I think having good style makes you automatically so much more attractive.
Like what kind of style?
I like street style, like not e-boy, but like along like low key e-boy.
You're like a little bit like if street style, like, and he came together.
Yeah.
Like you like flannels, but you like ripped jeans.
Kind of like the middle ground there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's what you like.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Nice. So taller, they take care of themselves, and they have style.
Yeah.
Nice. Bailey, do you have anything to
I
add
love
to
tattoos.
that? And tattoos.
Sorry.
And they can have 1 or 2 tattoos, or do you?
Lots of tattoos.
Let's
like if you have sleeves, whew, automatically I'm like, hello, sir.
What if it's like a pretty ugly guy, but he has a whole sleeve? You're like,
I think tattoos make someone more attractive if they're done right. Like
there are like some tattoos that
are just
look really bad.
awful.
They look not good.
That I'm like, you tried, but your artist was just screwed you over.
yeah, it's just kind of expensive, guys, you know.
Yeah, I know. You can't really change it.
Yeah. Bailey, you have anything to add to that?
No, I feel like it's the same for me. Like I don't have like a type, but I mean, I would like them to be taller than me, and kind of the same thing. Like I want them to take care of themselves, which I feel like is also kind of like an emotional thing. Like I want someone who's motivated and like not just gonna sit around and like wait for other things to happen for them. Like they're gonna make things happen. But yeah, like I feel like me and Tamlin are pretty similar in that. Like we like the style. We like guys that are taller than us, and it's mostly as far as physical goes.
That's good. And will you agree? Like, would you say that most of y'all's friends think the same way, or you have different opinions?
I think physically, my friends are like different. Like I feel like we all have kind of the same like emotional, like spiritual things that we want in a guy, but I feel like I have some friends that really like country boys, and I'm like,
a lot of people have like their type.
Yeah.
Like that's like the kind of person that they're looking for, which I feel like does tie in with emotional, because like how you present yourself physically goes into that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just go to the emotional, because we like already talking about it. I know this.
Dive right in.
Y'all have a lot more to say about that. So who wants to start with that? So
I went first.
And feel free to just like go into it. You know, I want to learn.
Rip it.
As I know a lot of guys out there trying to learn too.
Yeah.
I feel like emotionally, like I just want someone who's gonna be like invested in me and the relationship. Like, not that I have to be like the most important thing in their life, but somebody who's gonna be like, I prioritize you because like you're important to me and I want to show you that. So I feel like emotionally, like someone who has that like level of maturity to see like a relationship should be a priority, but it shouldn't be the only thing in your life kind of thing. So that's like a really important thing to me.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, me too. Like, I want you to put like work into it. Like, I mean, relationships are fun and everything, but also it's like you can't just like, oh yeah, well I'll talk to you once a day and that should be enough. And it's like, no.
Right.
Yeah, I want someone that's invested and that like cares and is like putting in as much work or even like more work than I am.
Someone who's like supportive of like me and what I'm doing, like whether that's what I'm doing like in school, like if they're taking interest in that, or like what I'm doing at work, but having someone who's like gonna ask me those questions because like they know that I care about it, and so like because they care about me, they want to be invested in that as well. So like having that extra level of like investment in me, I guess, I think is really important to have like that support person, support system.
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's like so much more attractive when someone is like, not just like supporting you as in like, that's cool, but I'll let you do that on your own. Like someone that's like, oh my gosh, you really love that? I'm going to do that with you because
like
you love
up.
it. Yes, they show up for it. even if like they don't necessarily like it, but they like compromise and like compromise, right? And like do that with you. I think that's the right word for it. But yeah, they're willing to do it with you even if they don't like it,
or even like not even necessarily do it, but just like come sit with you at work, or like come sit with you and like do your homework, like do their homework while you're doing your homework, kind of thing. Or, like
that's just the fact that they're there.
That they're
Mm-hmm.
Like they show up, they support.
Like you're invested.
Like that's something that you say like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That
like you don't have to like
working.
read all the same things that I'm reading or like watch all the same shows that I'm watching, but like, you know,
at least try.
At least try, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Well, you say that sometimes you might take like some discipline, you know, like you just gotta do it even if you don't want it, because you know if you don't, you might miss out on something, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it comes down to like if something's important to you, like you're gonna do whatever it takes to like keep that thing in your life, and like that comes to with people too. Like Tamlin's very important to me because she's one of my close friends, and so like I'm gonna do whatever it takes to like keep that friendship in my life because I value her. And if that means like I'm going to go to church with her and be a support system at this thing that she's like, that she helped create and she had like a vision for, like I'm going to go support her in that because like she's important to me and I want to show her that like I care about what she's invested in.
Right.
So like I think with that, like that is really important just in general. And so like if something's important to you, you're going to put in the work to make sure that it stays important to you.
Yeah, that's nice. So what about now a little more specific, like you, Bailey, specifically, you want them to be like goofy or stuff like that, or you don't really care about that?
We want 7s and 5s.
Okay, so so Bailey and I, this is just us, but maybe it's other like best friends out there or good friends.
Like roommates.
Yeah, but we've decided that like, not decided, but we're like...
We have noticed, because we've lived together for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And so, like, we've noticed that we work really well together. And so, like, finding people that have similar relationships or, like, similar personalities to each other.
It's, like, what we need.
Yeah. Like, I need someone who's going to make me a little bit more spontaneous and, like, outgoing. Because
are you more like you want everything on schedule and you follow a routine?
I'm very much like time management. I want to kind of stay in. Like I'm a big homebody. Like I'd rather come home from work, stay here, like not really do crazy things. And she would be the person to kind of be like, let's go to Dallas. Like let's go do something fun.
Let's ditch our homework and go to San Antonio.
Right.
Yeah, like let's go do something that we normally wouldn't plan to do. And, like, I feel like I need that in my life because otherwise I'm just going to be very boring all the time. Very much, like, everything has to be done in an hour kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
And I'm the opposite. Like, I am so all over the place that I need someone that's going to be like, okay, Tam, like, yes, it's fun to do all these things and it's fun to, like, go on random trips, but you also need to remember your responsibilities and, like, someone to basically just ground me. Not someone that's, like,
holding me back,
but someone that's like, okay, it's time to have fun and there's a time to like be serious. So I just need someone to be like
kind of like, hey, Tom, come on, there's homework, there's stuff like that.
Exactly. and be like nice about it, because like it's one thing for someone to be like, oh my gosh, like you're a lot, you need to calm down, you know. And there's another thing for someone to come in and be like loving about it and be like, I love you as you are, but also I'm gonna help you grow. So just someone that's like will keep me grounded and
That's cool. Pretty interesting. If you see the men's side, we were a little more like, you know, like I don't know how to explain it. It's just different the way we think. We're a little more superficial in some things, and in the emotional, we're not very interested in the. Well, not interested. We are, but it's not about like, you know, like you have to, you know, to be there and stuff like that. For us, it's more of like, as long as I know you support me, that's fine. But you don't have to show up, you know. And like that was with Adrian, was the same thing. He thought the same way. He was like, that's fine, like, you know, like as long as I know, like I feel some kind of, you know, like you admire me in some way, I think that would be enough. But for girls, it's more like we need to show it, you know. It's not just like saying it, but if you don't act on it, then it's like it didn't really matter, you know.
I think for girls, like my dad always tells me this, that like guys, like they're more of like, okay, if you tell me once or twice that you love me, I'll know that you love me, or like I know that you want to do these things or you care about these things. But for girls, it's like you could tell me that all day, but if you don't show it to me, like it doesn't mean anything. So I think girls kind of like lead more by actions, whereas like guys lead more by like words. But I mean, like every girl and guy is different, so.
Right. And also like may have to do with like your love languages and like what's most important to you. So like for me, quality time is like the most important thing. So like having someone just be like, hey, even if we're not going to talk about anything in particular, like I'll just come hang out with you in the apartment. Like that means a lot to me, because like that's how I show my love, and so like to me that's like them showing their love to me. But like some people, their thing is like gifts, and so it's like, hey, I got you a coffee because I thought of you when I was there, so like I brought you your favorite drink, and like that really means a lot to them. So I think it also depends on like how you like to be loved and how you like to love others as well.
Yeah, like just about communication, what's like the ideal communication when it comes to like a relationship when you're you know, talking to girls, or you know?
Yeah, for me, I'm very like, my top 2 love languages are physical touch and quality time. So I'm like I don't care about getting gifts or like you doing things for me. For me, it's like if you just tag along with me, like I need to go to the grocery store and you just come with me, like that means like so much to me. Or if I'm like doing homework and you just sit in the room with me, like we're good.
Right. And what about like you're saying you go to the grocery store? Do you like it whenever he's just like, you know, asks you like, are you going, or something like that? Or you tell him, you're like, hey, I'm going to the grocery store, just letting you know, and then you're just hoping for him to say, you know, like, hey, I'm coming with you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, and I want him to be like, okay, I'll go with you. But I mean, like, it's also nice kind of selfish.
Yeah, it's nice to have guys take the initiative, though. Yeah. Because I think, like, and I think this is kind of starting to look a little bit different with, like, more modern people. But I feel like it's nice to have that initiative of, like, the guy is pursuing you. And so, like, with that, like, I do the same thing. I'll, like, say something or do something and, like, hope they kind of, like, pick up the signal. And they're like, oh, okay.
Also, guys are, like, clueless. So they're like, oh, have fun. It's like, no, I want you to come with me.
It's kind of tough sometimes to read y'all, to be honest.
Sorry.
So you want like him to be like, hey, let's go to H-E-B.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah.
Those, honestly, to me, like, you don't have to take me out on fancy dinners or like fancy dates or be like super romantic all the time. Literally just like the little things is like let's just go to Target and then like have a fun movie night or something like that. You know, like that to me is like, I'm sold.
Nice.
Just like, you just have to make it intentional and make it like...
Yeah. So whoever dates Tamlin doesn't need a big budget?
No.
That's good.
I'm a cheap date.
I got her these socks for $1.
And I was very excited.
Oh yeah, matching. Y'all are matching. Okay, so now, before we end this conversation, because I don't like them to be very long, because then people don't look at them the whole... Yeah, they don't watch it. So like, as long as they can get to the end, that's fine. So like, let's just end with the spiritual side. Okay, so what do girls look for in the spiritual side?
I think for like me personally, something I've started to like kind of look for as I kind of get into the spot of like I've graduated and I'm moving on to, you know, like adult life, is I'm really looking for someone who's like a partner in ministry with me. So like someone who's willing to like let me do my thing and like knows that I have this calling that God's placed on my life, and they say like, hey, that's great, and I know that you're called to do that, and because you're called, like I'm going to stand behind you and support you in doing that, but I'm not going to take over. Like I'm not going to step into the spotlight just because like I'm a man and like I'm macho. Like I want to let you like like some guys do that. They're like, well, like women shouldn't be preachers, they shouldn't be teachers, like they should kind of like sit down and be quiet. And like to have someone who's like, no, like I'm going to elevate you because like I really believe in the calling that you have on your heart. and like not only does it but like partners with me and like really supports me in it, like I think is something that I really look for, because I want to know that they're gonna like come alongside me instead of just be like, yeah, go have fun.
Someone that you're looking for, someone that adds value to whoever you are, you know. It's nice. Hamlin.
Yeah, I think I'm the same, but like I don't really feel called to ministry, so I think mine is like a little different, but more of like I'm independent by nature, so like if a guy is trying, like one of my biggest pet peeves, or not pet peeves, like turn-offs, is when a guy is like tries to control me. So it's like, let me live my life. I mean, like we can live our life together, but it's like, don't try to control like what I do with my life, or like if I stay home, or like if I get to work somewhere, or like me cleaning the house or stuff like that, you know. Like I'm a free spirit, so like
you should be two separate people.
Yes, we're like, two separate people living
together.
Like
you still have each other's lives, and like yes, the two become one, but like still having your own paths.
Yeah. Obviously, like we need to like have like some same direction of like living in the same place and like same passions and stuff, but like don't make me like have to quit my dreams.
Right.
Because you don't want me to do that or whatever. Yeah. But
we're not here to be pastors' wives.
No.
That's good. That's really good. I was talking to my mom recently, and she was telling me like, you need to find something that you guys are like mutually working on, but at the same time that like, you know, like you're not gonna do everything together, because then that gets tiring, you know.
You also kind of like lose sight of yourself if like you're dependent on, oh well, I do every single thing with this person, so then it's like you kind of begin to find your identity in that person, whereas like yes, we live together, and yes, we're striving for the same things, but we also need to have our own passions and our own desires, otherwise we'll lose ourselves.
That's something that like my church at home, like back in Houston, the lead pastor is like, she's a woman, and like I really respect her, like she's one of my role models, but I like really respect her and her husband because like he's very much into like graphic design, he's very good with like building websites and technology and all this stuff, and she's very good at preaching and teaching and like really being intentional with relationships and like learning how to cultivate that, and like he lets her do her thing, and like he's gonna be there to support her, and like she lets him do his thing, but like they also come together and they lead together, and I think that's really valuable because like they have their own separate areas, but like in leadership they know that it's time to come together, and like I just really respect their relationship in that way.
That's cool. That's awesome. It's just awesome that you gave us the example. Like you get the ministry side, you know, because you're called to ministry, but then tell me like she's not called to ministry, and it's kind of like still like, you know, spiritual wise, you're looking for someone that's able to lead you and support you and add value to whatever it is that you're doing and you're supposed to do. So just to finish, is there anything you want to say to any girl, you know, that's probably like having, you know, like starting something up with some guy, and I don't know, maybe the guy is a little jerk or something like that, you know, like any advice for girls that probably going through something, or maybe some advice for the guys, they're interested in a girl, how should they approach them?
Well, I think like as a girl, like you're saying, like if the girl is struggling with like a guy that is kind of a jerk, know your worth, and if he's a jerk to you, you don't deserve that.
Right.
Also, I think honesty in a relationship is so important. Even if you're just like talking to someone, and like you need to be upfront with how you feel and what you want right off the bat. Otherwise, there's like, if you go into a relationship and neither of you really know what you want or know like how you feel about each other, then it's just like you're wasting each other's time. So it's like, just be honest with each other up front. Right. Be like,
don't be afraid of hard questions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't be afraid of hard questions. So yeah, that's it, I guess.
And what would you say to guys? You know, how should they approach the girl they like?
Take initiative.
Yes.
Just like be straightforward about. Should I be looking at the camera? Be straightforward about what you want, and like don't leave her guessing for months on end. Like just be straight up and be like, hey, I like you. I like think you're a great person. Like I want to pursue something more than a friendship with you. Even if that's just like gonna lead to talking for a couple of months, like just be honest and don't try to like be weird about it or like leave her kind of hanging on a thread. Like just be like, hey, I like you. I'm taking the initiative. Like this is what's up.
Yeah, confidence says a lot about a guy. Like even if a girl is like unsure about a guy, but you're confident about your feelings towards her and you like tell her, like for me, like if a guy tells me how he feels up front, even if I'm like not super sure if I like him, I'll be like, wow, I really appreciate your honesty because I'm not wasting my time. And I know that like
and it's like
I'm not confused. It's
respectful. Yeah.
So I think just be confident. Be honest.
Nice. It's nice. Really good stuff. I think I've learned a lot. And I think a lot of guys watching this also learn a lot. And maybe the girls can comment if they agree with y'all. Or if you look for something different. But thank you so much, Tamlin and Bailey, for being here, for accepting my invitation. Yeah. And I mean, everyone else, y'all can just leave a like if you liked our talk. Leave a comment with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe. And I think that's it for today. See you on the next one. Bye, y'all.
Thank you so much for staying till the end of this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you a new perspective on how girls think when it comes to relationships and how men should approach them. If you're a guy and you learned something new, please let me know in the comments. And if you're a girl and you think that something else should have been said and you have a different perspective, also let me know. Thank you so much again for staying. I encourage you to subscribe, leave a comment, and give me a like if you want to see more content like this. We're getting better, guys. We're getting better, and I'm excited for that and can't wait to see what this year is going to bring. If you like Spanish music, I just want to say that some of my covers and originals are being released this week and next week, and some of them are already out there. So if you're interested in that, I encourage you to go check them out. And well, this is it for this first episode of season 2 of Needed Conversations. I really hope to see you again, and thank you so much for being part of this. Love you guys. Have a good one.